Hey guys, so today we are going to talk about for loops. So what exactly are for loops? You all must be aware of a concept of looping, right? A loop is a simple thing that does a repetitive thing again and again and again until a specific condition is satisfied. For example, um, I have a house. In that house, I have one, two, three, four, five footballs kept. I need to get all the footballs out, and I can get only one football at a time. How many times do I need to go? I'll go in, I'll pick up a football, I'll bring it out, I'll go in again, I'll bring it out, I'll go in again, I'll bring it out. How many times I'll need to go? I need to go 5 times. And when do I stop going in? Until unless I have picked up the last ball. The moment I have picked up a last ball, I'm out of it. So this is a simple example of a loop. I go in, I'll see whether I've picked up the last ball or not. If not, I'll come out, I'll put the ball on the pots, I'll go in again. If yes, I have picked up the last ball, I will go out, but I will not come in again. So that's the whole concept of loops. So now, let's simply get into an example. For I equals to 0, I plus plus, I, sorry, I missed out something. Then I have a condition I less than 3, I plus plus. And they make you do some statements here, and then they finally say print something, let me print I only. So how does this statement work? So basically there are three parts of for loop. One is initialization. This is called initialization. Then there is called condition, and then there is increment. Okay, so what happens? How does this thing really operate? Let's start with our simple diagram of try running. What is the value of, sorry, I, and what is printed? Okay, this statement, initialization statement, only runs once. When you first hit the for loop, this statement runs. So at the moment I, the value of I is 0. I's value is 0. Then it checks the condition before going inside. Is 0 less than 3? Yes, it's less than 3. So it will go. Now again, this is something that people get confused. At this point, I plus plus basically means I equals to I plus 1, incrementing the value of I by 1. It's a C plus plus and C sharp, C syntax. You might have different syntax in different languages. Okay, now I plus plus. This will not run. Though it is written in the same line, it is not going to run at this juncture because we have just initialized I. I's value is 0, I is less than 3, 0 is less than 3, yes. We'll go in, I'll say print I. What is the last value of I? 0. Print 0. At this juncture, I plus plus runs. This guy basically runs here, if it is written here. It seems a little strange, but yeah, that's true. This is the place where I plus plus will happen. I becomes 1. Now again it will go in, initialization will no longer happen. So because it runs only once, as I said, only once. I less than 3, is 1 less than 3? True. It will again go in. Again, this is not running. It will go in, print I. What was the value of I? 1. It will print 1. At this juncture, again, it increases the value to 2. Increase the value to 2, you come back here. Is 2 less than 3? True. Go inside, print a value of I, 2. At this juncture, I becomes 3. 3. Is 3 less than 3? False. So it will not go in. It will not go in, and again, that does not mean I plus plus will run. It will not come here. It will directly jump to the next statement, someplace here. So I is less than 3, it fails. 3 is less than 3, it fails. It comes to the next statement, and nothing is printed because it never went to the loop. So if somebody asks you what is the last value of I, the last value of I is 3. And what was the last number printed? It was 2. Simple enough. We can take a little more complex example. Before we go to that, let me tell you one thing. Initialization and increment or decrement, whatever you use, are optional. The same loop could be written like this in C for I don't want to write an initialization. I just put a semicolon, just condition is mandatory. I less than 10 and I do not put an increment. What do I do with it? I put these things separately. Initialization will have to be done before it. For example, I do here I less than 0 and increment somewhere in between I plus plus. Now wherever the increment is written, it will run there. If it was written here, it would have run here, but if it is written anywhere inside the code, it will run at that particular point only as a normal statement. So make sure you do it correctly. So for example, if I plus plus and then I write print I, the same code that we did last time, the way it will work is I is equal to 0, value of I, and print 0, 0 less than 10, true, true, true. Then we skip these lines. I plus plus, I becomes 1. Then I say print I. The value of print would be the last value of I, that is 1. Then again it will go. So basically it will 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be 2, 3, 4. That's how it will go. So make sure you don't falter here. So this was simple of basic for loop. We can do one more example here for I equals to 0. Let me introduce another variable I less than y, I plus plus, and I say if I equals to 2, y equals to 5, and I say print I. So what will be my x? I'll have y, I'll have I, and I'll have what is printed. I equals to 0 and y equals to 2, for example. I equals to 0, I equals to 0, 0 less than 2, y equals to 2, 0 less than true, true. I will go in I equals to 2, equals to basically. Equals to 2, no. So this will not run. Print I. What is printed? Value of I, 0. Here it is incremented I plus plus, basically it happens here. Since happens here, so it will become 1. 1 less than 2, true. I equals to 2, 1 equals to true, false. It will not run. Print I, value of I, 1. Here it becomes 2. 2 less than equals to 2, less than 2, false. It will not enter. So y never became 5. Y will remain 2. And since it didn't go into the loop, y has become 2. It will come out as the exit statement. Final value of y would be 2. Final value of I would be 2. What is printed is 0 and 1. Fair enough? So always try and use, whenever you get confused, try using a simple dry run like this dry run table. You can view my other video on how to do or how to create a dry run table, and you should never make a mistake. See ya.